Hi guys, how you doing? So I thought today, because obviously with the apocalypse and stuff like that that's out, and after we finish the Siege of Terror this year, I wanted to move on and try other things and expand on my Heresy fantasies, so to speak. Now, when I first started out, one of the two armies that, or legions that I had to choose amongst were Imperial Fist, because what I loved about the Imperial Fist is their stalwart hardness, their fight to the bitter end, their not giving up, their loyalty, their strength, their desire to hold fast and build wonderful fortifications. And it was just that, and the whole sort of I suppose Rogel Dawn's story as well, and his love for the Emperor, his love for the Empire, and you know, as a strong son, and also his devoting, the way he devoted himself to the bitter end, even though he has these doubts throughout the story about, you know, what's going on, why do these brothers turn, and it was just that strength in him that I absolutely loved, and that's what made me choose the Imperial Fist as a legion. Had I taken a different route, people have often asked me this, why, but if I'd taken a different route, it would have probably been this guy. Now in here is Angron, Lord of the Red Sands, the master of blood in the arena. I would have gone for this guy. Now I'm going to talk about what we're going to do is we're just going to go through, and I've not even properly opened this yet, but God, it's a tough old box to open. Now for me, Angron is a tragic story, because this kid is basically taken away from his father, which represents many of the warriors that were thrown into the arena in ancient Roman times, taken away from their families and sold as slaves. And if they were lucky enough or unlucky enough, they would have been chosen and taken by a master and trained within the arts of the gladiatorial rings. Now, God, if I can't get this open, I'm so weak. It was my first day back at the gym as well. My doctors told me not to, but I just had to get down there, and I need to get fit and stuff like that. So I'm taking some time out to recuperate at the moment. Okay, so let's look at this guy. I mean, when we look at Angron, I mean, his story is tragic. He's taken away from the Emperor, well, like most of all the Primarchs, and they're scattered across the universe. Let's just look at his anger there. I like to call him angry. And his story, I may have got this wrong, he's taken, like many of the other Primarchs, they're thrown into the far reaches of the universe, and they're brought up by people that found them. Now unfortunately for Angron, he was found as a young boy and taken into the gladiatorial rings, where he has the butcher's nails fitted into his head. Now I'm doing the idiot's guide to Angron's story. Very much like Spartacus, he fights his way through the arena. I've not actually looked at this yet. This is the first time I looked at it. Like I said, I've been in hospital. I ordered a load of stuff because I want to start a World Eater army next year. Now this video is going to be a bit of a ramble, and I do apologise, but we're just going to look at the bits that I've got and why I'm choosing. I should say, I can't even speak. Why I'm choosing to start up a World Eater army, because it was my second choice army if I didn't go for Imperial Fists. Now he's taken away, he fights in the arenas like many other gladiators for the pleasure of their masters, and then one day he has an uprising where basically they managed to escape. Now I love this story because I really love the Spartacus TV series. I love the original movie, and I love the story of Spartacus and the slave uprisings during Rome. And I like the fact that they sort of follow this using that story, and there's, well, not so much, but there's a lot of it within this, within Angron's story. And he goes off, because I'm a strong believer in take what's out there that people understand, and I use this in the scripts that we prepare and stories that we put together for scripts and movies and stuff, where you take what people already know and slightly twist it a little bit. So when they watch it, they go, "Oh, hold on, I know about this," and there's slight truth to it, and there's slight, embellishments. And so what they've done here is taken this beautiful story about a man, or a god, almost a god, or a demigod, who he was taken away from his home. He's thrown into a gladiatorial ring where he has to fight to survive, basically, and his abilities are far better than most, and the butcher's nails are put into his head, which just expand on those abilities and make him even more violent and even more angry within the ring. Now there's an uprising where they break free, and a load of them escape, butchering like hundreds on the way out of the city, and they escape to the mountains. Now they send out all their best armies to fight these guys. It's obvious that they're not going to win. And on the night of the final battle, the Emperor drags Horus out of this encampment, leaving the rest of his friends and followers to die at the hands of the local forces. Now, what I do like is that Angron is so angry and bewildered by this action that he basically turns on his own legion, I suppose, and starts beating the hell out of them, which are then called the Warhounds, I think they are. And now you look at the Warhounds. Now, why create something so devastating, so nasty, such as the Warhounds? I mean, they're seen as a legion that are just beyond help. They are a savage legion compared to the other Space Marine legions. I mean, you look at the Space Wolves, and they say, I think there's a story in them. I'll just shut this for a second as we look at these pieces. They say that there's basically the Space Wolves are like hounds. They're no longer wolves. They no longer know what it means to run wild, where the Warhounds do. And obviously Angron then later becomes their Primarch and changes them in a way, and trains them in a way that only betters the Legion, and they become the World Eaters, a savage, dedicated force of close combat experts that will go down to a planet's surface, and instead of making them fall into compliance, they will go to a planet's surface and actually massacre thousands and thousands. And there's a rumour that within the ranks are already followers of Khorne. They just don't know it, and they're collecting skulls, and it's one of their training things. And I think Khan is mocked when he says, "Why do we need to collect skulls?" And he goes, "Well, it's the first one to get to a certain number is the best." And I kind of like Khan the Betrayer's story as well. That's kind of cool. So this is what's led me to the World Eaters. The World Eaters are a fantastic legion, a tragic story. Their fall is already set in stone. Their fall is already there. It's their destiny to fall, basically. And Angron has already been chosen and marked to become one of Khorne's followers. It's his story. And now I love listening to the audios, and there's a lot of stuff in there with Lorgar where he knows that Angron is destined for greatness within the Blood God. And there's a great quote where he says, where his armour is just covered in red when they're slaying all these Eldar, or Dark Eldar, I can't remember what it is, I think it's Eldar. And he says, "You should paint your armour red, brother, because it's just stained with blood." So I'm going to be building a World Eater army. I wanted to start off with Angron. Now I've decided to make this a very close combat like army, with some shooty just to draw fire, but a lot of it's going to be just chain axes and bolt pistols. I'll probably just go for chain axes and bolt pistols, to be fair, and get up in their face. So here we have these great, and you've seen this model hundreds of times. Loads of people have painted it, loads of people have put this together. Let's just adjust the lighting so we've got a bit more. There we go, that's a little bit better. It's not great, but it's a little bit better. Loads of people have built this. Ichiban has built it. We've seen a number of people put it together and paint it, and they've all done wondrous jobs. So I'm going to be building it and painting it, but I probably won't do a step by step. Who knows? I probably won't, because I like to think of myself as a man of many trades, but a master of none. So here's Angon. He's obviously going to be my HQ choice, my Primarch, my liege, my master. Okay, so there's him. That's the master of the Red Sands, Lords of the Red Sands. Now, oops, just not that. Obviously, I need some troops. Now, I've gone for elite choices. I've gone for these. Now, these were designed by Mark Bedford, who I adore his work. It's absolutely amazing. And also Will Hayes, who is another one of my favourite sculptors up at Forge World. Now, these are my rampagers. I love the fact it says Chaos Space Marines on the front. Already they're destined for badness. They're World Eaters. These are rampagers, and they come in packs of 5. Now, these models are absolutely gorgeous. There's so much detail with them. Like I said, it's 2 of my favourite sculptors and designers up at Forge World. There is brilliantness to this. I mean, I'll just show you if we can get a focus in on the armour, and we'll be doing a much more detailed look at this after October, where we start building this army up. I'll also be building up my Flames of War as well, because I'm going to be battling Warren at some point. So I've gone for 1 squad. These are elite choices, bear in mind, elite choices. 2 squads of these, because you can have anywhere from 5 to 10 in each squad. It'd be fantastic if you could have a 20-man squad of these. I mean, this would just be devastating. 20-man squad. Now, my plans for these are put these in drop pods, and the idea is that I'm going to draw fire with other things, like say Terminators, if I choose Terminators, because they've got a better stand of surviving with chain axes and shooty weapons. Now, these guys are going to be drop podding in. If I can give them a drop pod, I'm still not too sure. And then what I'm going to do is just put them behind enemy lines. These are devastating enough to cause so much devastation. So this is my idea. This is what I'm thinking. I might be wrong, I don't know, because I'm still reading up on them. I'm still learning about World Eaters, and God, this video is like 13 minutes long already. But I did say it's going to be a long ramble. If you're interested, just follow on and enjoy the story. Okay, so with that, I'm going to be fielding 3 World Eater Contemptors. Now, I'm going to do 2 close combat, and with the close combat, I've been looking at what weapons would be perfect for these guys, and I've gone for close combat assault claws. Now, they come with plasma or graviton, I think it is, weapons, so I'm going to go for plasma, because I just feel that plasma up close will be so much more devastating. And I might do 1 plasma, 1 graviton in different hands, because grav cannons are great pinning weapons. So if you don't want them to get away, use this to pin them down. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're both going to start off with close combat. Now, my third, which I haven't got yet, because there's only so much money in the world, my third's going to have 2 assault cannons. Carey's pattern assault cannons. Now, there's a brilliant picture in the Patrol book with a Contemptor with 2 assault cannons. I just love the idea of a World Eater with 2 assault cannons just spitting fire while these 2 appear from the sides, slaughtering their enemy. So there's my Contemptors. Now, I need something to deliver my troops. I'm going to do a 20-man squad of close combat So I need something to deliver them in. So I've got a Spartan sitting here, which I've had for a while, and that Spartan, I've got with it doors, World Eater doors, and this is going to deliver my 20-man squad of either tactical or assault. Now I don't want to do jump pack assault, everybody does. I mean, you do jump pack assault, everybody does. I want to look at purely making this a close combat army with assault marines charging out of vehicles. And I think a Spartan's good enough to get them to the other side of the table or to where I need them and unleash a 20-man squad with, obviously, what do we got here? Phobos chain axe and bolt pistol. So they'll all have, I've got 4 packets of these, I do believe. Yeah, I have. So all of them will have 20-man squad, except for the sergeant, who will have a plasma pistol and a close combat power weapon, most probably. Chain axes. Now I haven't got those yet. They can come later because, like I said, this is a project for after the Siege of Terror, and I've got a lot of tiles to paint, and I've got a lot of well, I haven't really got that much scenery to build. It's just the big palace, and we'll do a video on that very soon. So this is what I'm going for. This is the start of my World Eater army. Now put your thoughts down. Obviously you guys who play World Eaters have got a lot of ideas. Are Terminators worth having? Is it worth having a 20-man assault squad? Because obviously I'm trying to build up on my elite slots first, get them done, and then I can knock out the troops. Now I'm very excited about doing this. I'm also going to be doing a Chaos Army as well. Now a Chaos Army for next year, you've seen my Demon Prince. Now I'm going to be working on that, and we're going to have a look at that in the next video. So I'll see you guys later on.